Hey guys, and welcome to Ozzie Reviews. Well, today I'm going to talk to you about how to access a rural property for the purpose of recreational shooting. Now, it's a question I get asked a lot because a lot of shooters out there, especially new shooters, don't know how to actually get onto these rural properties. So this video is going to be the next installment in my beginner series, and we're going to talk to you about just different tips and ways that you can go about accessing a rural property. So where do we start? What I'd like to do, guys, is just get you for a moment just to put a farming hat on, okay? So put yourself in the shoes of us, the farmers. Now, if you don't know anyone and they just come straight up to you and want to go shooting on your property, you'll be very reluctant, won't you? Because you don't know who the person is, you don't know whether they've got insurance, you don't know what calibers they're going to shoot, and you don't know how trustworthy they are. So these are the hurdles that you're going to have to jump over and overcome in order to get access to these properties. So let's start, first of all, how do you actually get talking to different farmers and possibly get access to their property for the purpose of recreational shooting? It's not easy, like I say. So have a look online now, because you've got Facebook and you've got all these community pages for the local towns and also the local districts, okay, in rural areas especially. So you can go on there and you can advertise and say, look, I'm looking for a property to go shooting on, and just a little bit of a spiel, and then someone may private message you about it and you can talk about it from there. Other way to do it is you can put up a notice at your local shop or shopping centre in a small little town saying that you want to access a property, and you may get someone phone you from there. Okay, the other way to do it is you can actually approach a property owner face to face, okay? Now, I wouldn't highly recommend just going door to door and doing that. I mean, it'd probably be a little bit better. You could do like a letterbox drop or something like that. You just have to be careful, because a lot of farmers just don't want strangers wandering onto their property, okay? So just keep that in mind. Now, let's talk about what a farmer is going to want to know from you to put their mind at ease about you shooting on the property, okay? So there's three real major things here. The first is insurance. Do you have liability and accident cover should something happen? The second is, what caliber are you going to use? Are you going to come out there with a 22, or are you going to come out there with a 338 Lapua? There's a big difference. And number three, are you respectful? Are you willing to show and earn the credibility by cleaning up after yourself and going exactly where you say to the farmer that you're going on their property? Okay, so there are three things that I'll address in a little bit more detail now, guys, and hopefully it'll get you thinking a little bit more and sort of, I guess, break down the barriers of where we're coming from as farmers and where you guys are coming from as shooters, to hopefully sort of, get a bit of an understanding here, guys, so you can meet in the middle and hopefully open up a few doors to a few properties. Okay, so let's start at the first one, the liability and accident insurance. Now, if anybody comes to my property, guys, even personal friends, I do not let them shoot on this property unless they have that insurance cover. I just don't. It doesn't matter if I've known them for 10, 20 years, I do not let them shoot, because accidents can and will happen, and you need to have that insurance coverage to cover you. Alright, so how do you get that? Well, your Shooters Union membership, that's a big one. $10 million liability insurance cover, okay, which covers your liability and accidents. Easiest way to do it, $30 to join up for the year, and you've got that coverage. Also too, guys, if you're a SSAA member, they've got the coverage as well. However, if you don't have any insurance coverage, okay, so you're not a member of either of those, if you want to choose one and you want it just for going out and shooting on properties, I would highly recommend the Shooters Union, because it's only $30 a year. Okay, so it's about 3 times cheaper than the SSAA. However, choose one that suits your personal circumstances the best. So number two, let's talk about caliber. Now, if you go out onto a property and you say to a property owner that you'd like to go out and sight in your 22 and just have a little bit of a plink, set up a tent for the day and cook up a barbecue and that's it. You will find that you will most likely get a lot more access than what you do if you just say, I want to come out to a property with my 308 and shoot feral animals. Okay, so you need to take things in steps. Let's face it, guys, we're all human beings, and you need to know people before you start giving them just open access to the property, okay? Because it just doesn't happen like that. So my suggestion is to do that, guys. That's probably the best way to start. And then when you want to introduce like a centerfire caliber, you can say to the farm, after you've gone out a couple of times and you've shown that you're trustworthy, you can say, look, I've got a 223, would you mind if I bring that out and shoot in the same place and just sight that in? I've got about 20 to 40 rounds that I'd like to put through it. You just ask the question, but like I said, you work your way up to that. Now, for the actual centerfire calibers, I'll talk about this as well, guys, and this will be very dependent on the size of the property, the location of the property, what neighbours are around the property and things like that, okay? So if you go out there with a 308 or a 300 Win Mag or something like that, you will probably find access to properties is a little bit hard, okay, when you're first trying to get onto properties. If you do say that you've got a 223, instantly that says to a farmer, well, that's a pretty good all-round Australian caliber, okay? Because it is. It's very, very popular on rural properties because it's cheap. It doesn't have a massive amount of noise, like if you're shooting a 300 Win Mag, for example, or even a 243. And you've also got a caliber that's sensible, that's not going to reach out and if you miss your target, just travel, for a couple of kilometres, okay? So they're the sort of things you've got to think about. So then number 3, okay, now this is the big thing about trying to earn the credibility and trust of a farmer. So how do you go about doing that if you don't have an opportunity to prove yourself? Well, when you first go out to a property there and you do get access to it by using the first 2 steps, what you need to do is say to the farmer, where would you like me to shoot so I'm out of the way? Okay, and they might say, right, well, I've got a paddock there, the Western paddock as they call it. You can go there. I've got no livestock in there at present. Go down there and have a shoot. Okay, so if you go down there and you set up, okay, do not deviate from that, guys. Do exactly what that farmer tells you to do. Don't go wandering off on the property. Don't go just for a bushwalk on the property. You go exactly where you're told to go or where you tell the farmer that you're going to go and they agree. Okay, don't deviate from that. One of the biggest peeves as a farmer, guys, is when someone comes out to your property and when they're gone, you go down, you check where they've been, and there's Mars bar wrappers, there's soft drink cans, there's just litter, okay? And that goes for your shells as well. The last thing the farmer wants to be doing is picking up shells, all right? So you want to clean up after yourself. You want to make sure the area is exactly the way that it was when you went down there. Obviously, when you turn up to a property and you leave from the rural property, make sure you check in with the farmer, let them know you're there, obviously, how long you're going to be roughly, okay? Look, it sounds a little bit regimented, guys, but honestly, this is how I go about accessing a property, okay? I know I've got my own property, but I'm talking about just for recreational levels, okay? You need to earn that trust and respect to the farmer. All right, guys, so look, that's pretty much it. I can't really give you more tips than that. Hopefully it'll open a few doors for you and get you thinking about things that you previously wouldn't have thought about prior to this video. And you'll soon be out there and enjoying the recreational shooting on a rural property. One thing I will say just in closing, guys, is whatever you do, just make sure you do the right thing on a property, because if you do the wrong thing, I'm telling you, farming and rural communities are a very close-knit community. We know people kilometres away in our district, okay? We have to, because we always lose stock and stuff like that. We're a very close-knit community, so just make sure you do the right thing, because when you do the right thing, you will get access to so many properties because you will be trustworthy and you can build on that credibility. Okay guys, hope the video has helped you out there, so till next time, we'll catch you then.